Yeah, bring it all the way back here so I can complain a bit. Load up this game, you're treated to a completely unskippable opening. I had that horrible frustration moment of like smashing escape, enter, control, shift, everything. No, you gotta sit through this game's opening, which was most unpleasant. You know, if this was my choice to be playing this, I would have already just Alt F4'd and returned the game, because I do not have the patience for that kind of nonsense. But it's not about my patience or my feelings at all here. We're here on punishment game number 100, and I've frankly lost count, but at least I keep track of them somewhere. It's Pharaoh, a new era. So this was put forward by a couple of wretches of society. I'm calling them that because I can't remember the name. Who put this forward? It was Urkran and Herr Kommissar put this on my punishment game list. And I'm playing it here because I've been failing quite a lot of my weekly one-shots lately. Feels bad, but oh well, we gotta have the challenge. There's gotta be that risk of failure, or else I don't get the thrill of success. At least I won in Factorio. God, I'd much rather be playing Factorio right now. So, Pharaoh, it's in the same branch as the other Impressions games. You've got Caesar, you've got Emperor, you've got that Greek one as well. I think by now I've played all of them, but I haven't been interested in any of them. Let's face it, these Impressions city builder games are mechanically really quite awful. But the reason that Caesar is speaking so well to me is that I just love its very strong Roman theming. I love the music, the characters, the voices, the visuals, the things that you build and how they interact, just all feels quite right. And it's all just truly accentuated by Caesar himself lording over you. My constant headbutting with that troll is a source of anguish and amusement in equal measure. So I can stomach the antiquated and frankly horrendous mechanics that are existing in Caesar, walkers being one of the most egregious examples, because I just overall like the game. Some things can be forgiven. Now, I've played Pharaoh, the original, and I really never liked it. It just felt like Caesar, but we're in a big old sandcastle. I didn't like the setting, the characters, the voices, and everything looked hideous. But now we got Pharaoh, a new era. It's been remade for the modern audiences. Looks horrible, probably still plays the same kind of horrible, but I haven't played this before. We're going to be finding out. Let's get it underway, shall we? Like I said, we'll be giving this a shake for a couple of hours. We'll be playing with a family. What kind of family? I don't know. How about the Caesar was better family? I would call it some kind of reference of Toga Boy, but I can't think of a good name of clothes that would fit for Egypt here. But yeah, Caesar was better. Begin. We're the most Caesar-looking individual here. So I imagine there was no stipulation for this punishment game, by the way, so I imagine we'll just play the campaign for a couple of hours. I wonder if we'll be able to get out of Tutorialville during that time. So, the pre-dynastic period. Is it really pre-dynastic? No dynasties at this time? Surely, surely. Anyway, let's go to Nukt, or Nubbed, or whatever, and make some shanties. Shanties are tents. I like my tents. Tents are the sign of you really making a god-awful city in Caesar. Everybody should at least be fed. From what I understand, it got mobilified in certain ways. It certainly looks like a mobile game, but I don't think it was ever brought over to mobile. Interestingly, way back in the day, when I was doing my security guard routine, I had a tablet that would run a specific version of Caesar 3. Somebody had ported it to Android tablet, and that was great. It was a very lightweight way for me to bring Caesar to work with me. Welcome to ancient
Egypt, land of the pharaohs. Here you'll participate in the history of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen.
Yeah, they are. Not the Romans, it seems. Right, I think we're familiar enough with how this stuff works due to playing enough Caesar. Click and drag, and huzzah, you get your houses, and then give them some roads. I don't know why it wants me to build a road out to here. Sounds like it's just going to cause some conflict with branching paths. Never ever trust your walkers. So I'm going to cut this off so that I don't have to care about trusting them. The ostrich is invisible when they hide their heads in the sun. Okay, good for them. I wonder if we can eat them.
I'm new here. I wonder what the city will offer to a person like me.
Ugh. Visually, it's so disgusting. Is there a Chinese version of this? You're thinking of Emperor. Mechanically, probably the best of all the games, but I still don't like it. I don't want to be playing around with the Chinese, I want to be playing around with the Romans. So I'm very intimately familiar with all the mechanical workings of Caesar, but less so here. Couldn't help but notice that the mergers would only happen when there were houses in each of them. The small crappy shanty wouldn't merge with an empty plot there. So hurrah, we've got 100 people. Wants me to grow it to 200. Can we speed up with plus? No? With plus? No? We speed up with 1, 2, 3. No, you want me to use page up and page down to alter speed. Wait, no. Page up, page down, and T. Disgusting. Alright, to evolve the houses, they need basic access to water. Provide them with wells. Well, I will do just that. I guess it's under service. Service? Well? Oh, right. Does it have an area of effect? If it does, it... Not really showing it. I'm going to find swiftly that Julius has a better quality of life than this. I can only assume that the thing exerts a 2 square radius of water because it evolved these things from there. Q is not the pipette tool. In fact, is there a pipette tool? Key bindings. Oh, and for one, speed up should be plus. And speed down should be... somewhere. Reset speed. Where's just speed down? What's it called? Slow down the game. What a horrifying feeling. Trying to find slow down the game. We've got speed up. Where's... Ah, here we go. There's my speed down. Page up and page down. Nonsense. Yeah, they're doing that same sound effect that we got in Caesar 3. Lovely recycling. Right, a growing population needs a reliable source of food. Yes, hunting lodges and granaries. Well, no, bazaar. Hunting lodge, bazaar, granary. Easy money. Begin with the hunting. Big old 2x2s. Watch as they spawn a walker and look for workers. There was an option that I noticed. Here we go. Global labor pool. Fixed worker ratio. Oh, the casualization. Where will it end? Hunter will go out in search of prey. Good for them. And I'm going to stow it over in my lovely granary. Good God, you're playing this crap? Asks Dennis Wolf. You've been around long enough to know how this works. This is not necessarily by my choice. Alright, once we have the food, we can get the Grand Bazaar. I was curious about those points that were showing up here. When trying to place a building near a road, you see indicators with arrows. Green shows where it spawns walkers, and where it takes deliveries of good. The red shows the return point. Sometimes, but they're both in the same tile. This might change when you build new roads, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I don't know why it gives you that. That doesn't seem like useful information. What is useful is where in, say, Augustus, the mod for Caesar 3, they... oh my God, that looks awful! It looks so freaking bad. Yeah, one of the nice things they have in Augustus is that they actually give you an outline of where the walker is going to go. So, you know, you actually get that information rather than have to keep building and demolishing the same thing. Which is something I'd really wish they ported over to Julius, but I understand why they can't. Right, you can use roadblocks to prevent people from moving around. Well, I deleted this road to not have to do this, but sure. Ah. Well, isn't that funny? I'm not allowed to build the roadblock there, because the tutorial's making me do so, and that doesn't let me build a road there. Well now. Hey Jake, on the right side, there are unmerged buildings. Would they merge in Caesar 3? It looks like it uses the same merger logic, apart from not merging with empty areas. So what I'm certain that I could do is delete this. Oh, are you going to be Nicky on me?
I can't find a place to live. I can't find a place to live.
That's just not quite as fun as I've been thrown out of my home. Alright, so we have a bit of a situation here. Wait, can I build roads at all? No, okay, you just cannot build roads. Ah, okay. Why? What have I done to deserve this? So I can delete, but I cannot build, so we're now soft-locked. Beautiful. Freaking beautiful. Yeah, I'm one of the best Caesar 3 players to ever grace this planet. And I'm having to put myself through this. What did I do to deserve this? I think what I did was I failed WarioWare. Alright, come on. Get moving. Does it forgotten my keybinds? Why? Look on the bright side, you can experience the fun again. I'd rather not experience this fun to begin with. But here I am. It was WarioWare, right? Oh, man. Just so close. So freaking close. Now I gotta sit through 2 hours of this nonsense. Life can be ugly. I think what happened was, since it didn't confirm the key bindings, it didn't stick, so I had to reset them. Right, okay, I'm gonna water my plebes. I don't really care so much about mergers here. It's not like I'm trying to build something beautiful. Do not dare destroy any road tiles, or else we soft lock the mission. Are you one of the best Pharaoh players that ever graced Twitch? Why play myself down? It's gracing the world, not just Twitch. Although, to be fair, when it comes to Caesar, I don't see every other player out there. On the Caesar 3 forums, I've certainly seen a lot of impressive players, but they don't stream their work. One of them in particular, one of the best ones out there, Bruegel. He spends months agonizing over his cities, making them absolutely perfect. And they do end up pretty much perfect. It's brilliant what that man can do. But oftentimes I'm interested in what people can do in one shot live, rather than a very well-rehearsed operation. There's a lot to be said for what gets done under pressure. Alright, now I can build the roadblocks, because it's not soft-locking me out of building roads. Fire and collapse risks. Okay, don't we know them well? We're going to want some firehouses. Is it going to let me put them anywhere? Okay, now it says I can freely place buildings. Firehouse here, architect post here. Okay, I right-clicked to get rid of architect post, but I accidentally got rid of whatever tutorial there was there. You want a water supply? Maybe they want some clean water. Alright, sure, here's some clean water. Reach 6 meager shanties. What do we have right now? Sturdy hut. Unlike Caesar, you left-click to get the information, and you right-click to do whatever this is. I guess hide the building? Kind of useful in a way, because the buildings in this game obfuscate what's behind them a lot. Which is something I appreciate Caesar almost never did. The buildings were made such that you can always see behind them, given the perspective. There are some exceptions, of course. Some buildings were really just too big for their own breaches. Alright, give me my meager huts. I suppose we need the food. We're waiting on the bazaar to get its game meat, distribute its game meat. Now you have your game meat, and you're going to become... oh, meager shanty. I feel like the visuals don't stand out quite so well. Every different building looks significantly different in Caesar. Whereas here, what's the difference that I'm looking at here? Kind of looks like this one's melting version of the shanty. This should be a long play, and you should be long banned for that kind of thoughts. No, hell no.
Well done. By filling your people's bellies with nourishing food and protecting their homes from fire and collapse, you have helped this fledgling civilization take its first step on the long road of history.
This long road is only going to be 2 hours of history. Keep governing? Hell no. Let's just kill and keep moving. Your family begins the period of blah blah blah. Over to Thenis. Until you've reached the last level of housing, trade will bring way more demands than taxes.
After many years and the passing of a generation, your family has resettled in the area of Inis, in Upper Egypt. Here, a small band of local rulers is attempting to extend its influence over Lower Egypt and all lands along the River Nile, and to unite this realm under its own house with one supreme leader. Establishing...
That's enough out of you. It just doesn't have the same charm as Caesar giving me commands. And also where are the cool little FMVs and the little mission-specific backgrounds that we get? All gone. They just lost all semblance of effort when it came over to Pharaoh. Right, start to lay down your housing, provide people with fresh water, the same way you did in Nut. Alright, you can clear trees. They won't grow back. You'll have to make sure you don't get rid of all of them if you need them. Alright, very well. Where is the game? Here are the ostriches. I guess that's the closest thing we have to game. 1, 2, space, 1, 2. Let's just kind of approach this like I would a Caesar map. And you can't tell me to use roadblocks. Roadblocks are for cowards. Although I'll probably be using them in this game anyway. Let's build something hideous. Where was the water again? Actually, do I need the water well? Thinking about it. I can't place this. Ah, water wells have to be placed on this greenish-looking land. Is the same true for the water supplier? Yeah, fancy that. Fascinating. Employees needed, but we'll get those employees. Let's make sure things are architecturally sound. And we have a firehouse. And I'll make ourselves a couple of hunting lodges. I'm assuming those are undesirable. Now, I don't know the ratios in this game. I know the ratios in Caesar like the back of my hands. Well, kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if I've forgotten them all by now. In fact, I'd be surprised if I did not. This looks so bad! Looks like one of those scam mobile game ads. The arrow isn't even coming out of the bow.
Now those are some big drumsticks.
Christ almighty.
Ostriches are nearly invisible when they put their heads in the sand.
Yeah, if this is the hunting, I dread to imagine how the combat's going to be. Oh, they just spawn out of thin air here. Very nice. Alright, get me my crummy little sturdy hut. Let's fill up the granaries. They've still got the same visual representation I remember from Pharaoh, where the bits fill in here. Not as charming as the grain that you see through the windows in the granary in Caesar 3. Also, you don't get the same idea of positioning a granary on a 2, 3, or 4-way junction. I love Caesar so much. Seeing this is just horrifying. Forcing myself to go through it. I mean, if I didn't have my history with Caesar, this would probably be quite a nice let-off as punishment games go. But I'm not feeling that way today. Build housing, speed management, employees needed. Yeah, how do I see my employment, unemployment, and whatnot? I can't believe Julius ended up being better than this. And Julius ain't made for profit. At least I don't think it is. Yeah, we're 2023 gaming here, Deselecta. There are too few jobs to employ everyone. I don't really have jobs available to give people, do I? Can't make them into potters and whatnot. Police station, physician, village palaces, firehouses, water supplies, architect posts. Village Palace stores most of the city treasure, allows you to collect tax. Must be built in a grassy area, except I can't build the bloody thing. Do I have like a thing that I have to do? Build housing and get 10 meager shanties. Okay, huzzah, we've done it. Maybe not. These are the meager shanties. And many of my shanties aren't good enough. This dwelling cannot evolve until the desirability improves. The hunting lodge is making it kind of crappy. Great! Where's my access to things that look nice, like gardens? Or plazas, or garden or plaza equivalents? The answer is we don't have them. Are you going to evolve when you get more food? No, they're going to evolve when they get more desirability, which do I have any way of giving that right now? Each structure you place calls debans. One way to make that money is to mine gold. Place at least 2 gold mines near the veins of ore so you can begin production. Make sure they have access to workforce, don't forget to protect them against risk. Okay, so settling down here, probably a terrible idea when all the gold is over here. And we're not using global labor. Although I suppose I could. You know what, screw it. Turning this thing right on. Not fixed ratio, global labor pool. Try and mitigate my punishment as much as I can here. It's one of my biggest issues with Augustus global labor pool. It's just such a disgusting crutch. Did I lose the bet? Yeah, it's down here. Here we go. Gold mining. Just mine free debans? Well, don't mine if I do. These things just give free money? I don't actually understand how they work. I feel like the way the roads are built is different here. Look at that. If this was Caesar 3, the road would come out, down and along and hug the bottom bit here. Instead it's going right and down? I don't understand. Gold is a special resource that's stored in a palace. Alright, great. Give me my very own palace. Unless I meant to put that somewhere specific. Just in case it does end up being a bit specific. Oh, it needs to be put on grass, huh? Well, let's put it over here. And then I will have you come down like so. And then it must be desirable because it's just going to make these tiles even better. And let's make sure nothing's going to be burning down. And nothing is going to be falling down. Hopefully they can walk all the way over there. Oh god, look at that animation! Grim. Take a shot every time Jake says Caesar 3. It'll be dozens, maybe even over 100 for this run.
Oh, I'm credited for the great condition of this city.
Says you have no road access. Looks pretty road accessible to me. And now it agrees. Most direct way to fill your treasury, huh?
I have to go clear across the city with these goods. It'll take all day. I have to go clear across the city with these goods. It'll take all day.
Is that really considered across the city? Look at how short a distance they have to go. With a supply of cash, there's a risk of theft. Constables and the police station can help reduce losses. Patrolling the streets to prevent crime. Subdue any criminals. Best way to prevent crime. Keep your population happy with food, healthcare, and jobs. You say healthcare. Have we been offered any healthcare options? Oh, nice. There's a little one-by-one building again. Put it right next to the bazaar. A wee dancing guy with his fish. Just madness.
Now those are some big drumsticks.
I shouldn't have clicked on you. It got rid of whatever message was coming up. Was it overlays? You can check your houses, clicking on them, risk of crime. The overlays, left bar. Look at the crime one. Tell me about crime. Ah, look at that. Low crime area. There have been complaints, so stop them from complaining.
Everybody's friendly here. No one is reporting any crimes.
Just says that they're reporting crimes. Crime is... Wait, Tinderbox now? Crime is endemic? That changed fast. Must be my lack of jobs for people. Or maybe they just want a physician. There you go. Why are they coughing? How do I get out of overlay mode? No, I don't want the encyclopedia. No active overlay, please.
I haven't eaten in so long, even I'm considering stealing food.
There's so much food here. What's exactly your problem? Do you need another bazaar? An Egyptian city cannot truly flourish without suitable places of worship. Build temples and shrines. Okay, I'll consider that. But for now, I'm under the impression these people aren't getting food distributed hard enough. I mean, it seems like we've got plenty of game meat, and the granary is overflowing, so I don't know what their problem is. Perhaps they do want another bazaar. There you go, have another one on this side. Wait a second, food's here, food's there, food's everywhere. What's your problem? Ah, well. Even so, enjoy having a temple to Bast. Ooh, temples are 1x1s. How tiny. Maybe check the food overlay. We've got a food overlay, entertainment, education, health, religion, taxation. Magistrate, bazaar overlay? Everyone's getting the food they deserve. Madness. When Bast is displeased, nobody's home is safe. I remember these being a real pain to work with. The god system. There are too few jobs to employ everyone. Yeah, well, I don't really have jobs to offer them, do I? Unless everybody wants to be a water supplier. Not a lot of immediate information. You know, how many people is this employing? Or maybe this is the count. Ah, it is the count up there. Looked like a decoration. Fascinating.
I hope I'm credited for the great condition of...
Everybody's friendly here. No one is reporting any crimes. Plague could strike us dead at any moment.
Hang on, have they got a problem with my temple? Ah, that was a shrine. Now I need a temple, which is actually a 3x3. I wonder if I can use shrines for... oh, crap. The pop-ups keep coming rapidly. Yeah, I wonder if I can put the shrines over next to the houses on the inside and have that improve desirability. I'll give it a go. Oh, can be built a tile away from the road. Alright, but that means I can put it there and there. Huzzah. Both patron gods and local deities can become hostile if not shown respect. Make sure you have temples and shrines. Festivals are another way to appease a god. Build a festival square. Yeah, this is really rather miserable. Fun bug. Pharaoh has a yearly tribute you're supposed to pay, similar to Caesar 3. This didn't work on release. Even though you paid the tribute, the kingdom rating would decrease as if you didn't. They responded by removing all mentions of tribute. However, tribute would still be deducted from your budget. Is this a Pharaoh issue or a Pharaoh New Era issue? Seems like it's important to have the distinction. It needs to be placed on an intersection. This thing's bloody huge, though. So one of the many reasons I'm not a big fan of Pharaoh is that they have just such massive buildings. The monuments as well. I was always very happy that Caesar 3 didn't have monuments, and then Augustus goes and brings monuments in. I really, really don't think monuments are good in a city builder. Then again, some people like them. They're wrong, but, you know, they like them. Time for you to go.
I've been kicked out of my home, and through no fault of my own.
No, it was absolutely your fault. You were getting in the way of city planning. Why can't I build this here, though? Looks pretty on an intersection to me. Well, I have the money. Huzzah! Consult the overseer of the temples, determine the status of each of the gods in a particular city. Whether they're sufficiently appeased, lightning bolts indicate how they're feeling. Oh, man. Okay. Different overseers, left panel, see them from time to time. So you're the overseers. Overseers for my temples. Bast is pathetic. Excellent. Maybe we should hold a festival to them. Commoner festival for a commoner god. Unfortunately, though, this thing kind of goes out in all directions. Roadblocks. Disgusting. Another fun fact, in Pharaoh New Era, it does not allow you to rotate the camera. It's always pointed north. The devs explained, because when they tried to implement rotation, all sorts of features broke. The original Pharaoh, you could rotate the map. Game's just a bloody mess, isn't it? Farmers are overjoyed by predictions for an excellent inundation in the coming year. Oh yeah, there's another thing I don't like. I don't like the whole floodplain stuff.
I have to go clear across the city with these goods. It'll take all day.
There's no way that's correct, right?
I have to go clear across the city with these
How is
goods.
this clear across the
It'll
city?
take all
It's like a
day.
dozen tiles. Do they have something wrong where it doesn't detect distance correctly for that? As your city becomes more advanced, some citizens can enjoy leisure activities, taking in a little entertainment, wide assortment of entertainments, hallmark of a truly cultured city. But you need a booth and then jugglers. Crusty jugglers. Alright, try and get yourselves ordinary cottages. I will do my utmost. Where exactly are those booths? Ah, Bast is pleased. She has thrown a festival. All the gods will notice your piety. Okay, good for us. Hey, look at him go out there. Oh, they're not going to talk to me. Maybe because the workers are living very far away from where they work? No. No, and more no. Entertainment. A new tab here at the bottom. So we're going to need a little school for our crusty jugglers, and then as I recall, these have to be put on intersections, right? Must be built on a turn. Can I rotate this building, by the way? Also, must be built on a turn? What a weird phrasing.
I've been kicked out of my home and through no fault of my own.
There we go. It auto-rotates when it's put on a corner. Fascinating. So they'll put on some shows over there. Huzzah.
Excellent! You have built the first true city in this unforgiving land, providing for your citizens' corporal and spiritual needs, and have helped the Thinite Confederacy unify the divided land.
Not entirely sure this would be all that punishing experience if I wasn't such a huge Caesar 3 fan. With that in mind, it is truly crushing to play this. It probably doesn't even look that bad, but I'm feeling it bad. Okay, our family's off to Prowadzic. What a Polish-sounding name. Off to pre-dynastic Poland, it seems. Make 600 population in modest homesteads. Very well. Zalab is saying, nah, it does look hideous. Very good. Imagine that it's Caesar. Space age expansion on planet Egyptus. Oh, no, some things it's better off just to leave them dead. Okay, right, I keep missing this play button. Talk to me.
The Thinite nobles still struggle to unite the lands of the Nile under one supreme ruler. To aid them in their cause, it is hoped that you will endeavor to establish a thriving community at Perwajit, in the humid delta region of Lower Egypt, thus spreading their influence throughout the length of the sacred river. To support a population larger than that of a village, you must learn to use agriculture. Egyptian farmers have begun to exploit the rich, fertile soil deposited by the annual inundation of the Nile River for growing crops. The Nile can be hazardous, however. Many dangers lurk along its banks and in its waters, such as deadly crocodiles, hippopotamuses, and malaria-carrying mosquitoes.
Right, deal with the crocs. I do vaguely recall crocodiles eating people. Don't be in debt, keep an eye on your treasury. Okay, here's a question. Where'd the music go? Do I get gold here? Probably not. It's probably going to make me do trade to get dosh instead of just mining out infinite gold from the land. To feed your people, you must build farms directly in the floodplain. Gain the benefits of fertility. Farms do not need direct access to employees, but do need a steady workforce of peasant laborers from work camps. They'll tend to the farms, word camps, floodplain areas, granaries. Okay, very good. I think this was the mission where I just stopped playing Pharaoh back in the original. Grim memories of this. Alright. Let's start building, shall we? We shall. This all counts as floodplain, right? Where's my food? Yeah, the pig farms can be built here. Here and here only. Look at the way that sticks, right? How do I build a road to here, for example, that doesn't go along like that? Anyway, 1, 2, 1, 2, good enough. What? No, I don't want that road. The hell is this road building? Nor do I want that. Where's my undo? This game is agonizing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Why? Why? Oh, Christ. So who in chat has had the displeasure of actually playing this game? And what a displeasure it seems. Build them up like this, shall I? Very curious combat how it will look now. Yeah, I'm curious how the fastest way we can get to combat, because I have heard terrible things about it. What else are we going with? We'll get the basic stuff. We need to make sure that we have architect. We need to make sure that we have firehouse. I'm assuming that water is okay around here. Certainly seems okay around here. There you go. And yeah, physician. Don't want to get into that early game Caesar problem where everybody's just dying. Now, is there stuff for you to hunt around here? Maybe they can shoot down the birds or the crocodiles or something? Probably not, because it doesn't give me access to that. Let's perhaps try this. Just have a road coming out here. Oh, I can't build a road into this. How does the farming work then? Is it like a special floodplain road that I put here? You must build farm areas in floodplain to gain benefits of increased fertility. Working structures farmed do not need access to employees. Floodplains. Still seems to show roads going onto the floodplains. You cannot pass roads on the corners. What a bizarre limitation. I do like figure of 8 building. Works in Caesar 3. Hopefully it works here. let's go and get ourselves some fig farms. That also doesn't like being put on the corners. What a goddamn shame. I can't help but feel that if I were new to playing Caesar 3 today, I'd probably find similar antagonistic issues with that game. But you know what? I'm not, so it doesn't warrant thinking about. Get our work camp going. I don't trust my... what are you? I don't trust my architect to be able to walk all the way over here. So, for safety, let's have another architect post over here. Ah, right, I guess only food things can go in the floodplain area. Employees needed, I'm well aware. And you're going to need a granary to store all that delicious food in, right? There's no way you wouldn't. Farms don't need architects or firemen, as I recall. The more you learn.
I like it here, but there is always room for improvement.
You shut your mouth.
I heard there is a job here for anyone who wants one.
Blobber in to say it's not called a help Jake game. It's called punishment. Let him learn. Learn through the pain. I can't help but feel that you've been through this pain yourself, Blobber. I seem to have vague memories of you having opinions about this game.
I've had more people volunteer for the fire department. These people need jobs.
Well, if I had jobs to give them, I'd give them. How about getting some crusty jugglers going? Juggler school, and here you go. Put that on the corner, as it supposedly likes. And we like these shrines, right? They look good, they feel good. Yeah, where do I see just the unemployment numbers? There's probably an overseer of labor, right? We have 74 employed and 60 unemployed. Now, why is that information not pinned somewhere at all times for me to see? It feels like it would be pertinent. Instead, I gotta get this tooltip that fades away? What? I don't think I've ever seen that in a game. Okay, let's get this tooltip information and it fades away. Oh, now it's sticking. Ah, maybe I twitched off of it and it went away like that. How bizarre. And this is the oncoming flood? Fascinating. Yeah, I think what I did was I did that. Right, well, get in the figs. I do love figs, by the way. Delicious food. Not my favorite, though. They ain't dates, after all. Wait, I got that the wrong way around. Figs are my favorite fruit. Two Frenchmen ruining the game. The guy calls himself Noodle.
I hope I'm credited for the...
Oh, is this something we blame the French for?
People say that this city has plenty of food to go around.
Where are you going? Why are the immigrants walking off this way? There are no houses for you over there. At least I hope there aren't. So we'll get our food coming in. That will involve these people. And they have entertainment and faith. And I'm curious what they'll want beyond that. No point building a bazaar until they have the food, right? Well, maybe there is, because it'll at least create some jobs. If in doubt, blame the French. There's plenty to blame them for. I wouldn't say I hate the original. It's just not my kind of game. Well, it's not Caesar.
Even a priest needs more than prayers to be entertained.
Yeah, but you can just look at the crusty juggler here. These guys are just making up problems to have. Wonder if I can give them one of those fancy squares here. Yeah, there you go. There was a pop-up there, but it's gone already before I read it. And in comes the first of the food. Thousands of figs. trees are wild and barren because there are no workers. Barren. I don't really have an idea of how many farms we're going to be needing, but if nothing else, farms will employ people, so that's got to be good. Let's exploit this delicious land. Oh, for God's sake, if I'm right-clicking off of a building, don't close the tutorial. I wanted to learn about malaria. Justify my love for a gin and tonic. Malaria is most prevalent close to water and marshland. Malaria overlay shows the houses are most likely to succumb. Access to clean water from a water supply and insect repellent provided by a local apothecary greatly reduce the risk. Apothecary needs road access and labor. Apothecary. But that is apothecary different from this building. Not that building, this building. Yeah, physician is not apothecary. Okay. Quite a few 1x1 service buildings. Those are rare in Caesar 3. And as such, are valuable. Alright, I'll shove you over there then.
Carrying water is not entertainment. I wish we had some real diversions here.
What's wrong with your clever juggling act? Now that you've given your people basic food and water, you can enhance their lifestyle with goods. Build a clay pit close to water. Put Harry Potter nearby. Make sure they have access to the labor pool. Before long, a cart will deliver clay to the potter. He'll collect pottery for the city, put a storage yard, and the bazaar will go and get it. Alright, so essentially we're trying to make decent casa now. But where, oh where can I put my clay pits? How close to water is close to water? Alright, there we go, that'll do you. And then those are going to go into my potters. I'm assuming it's a 2-to-1 ratio like it is in Caesar 3. Make sure that you have enough population for the job. Well, unemployment's at 44%. I don't think that's a problem right now. New era simulates an aging population. 60% of the 20 to 49-year-olds are available for work. If you have trouble with this system, you can go to fixed worker ratio. Casuals. Ignore the fact that I turned on global labor pool. I want to mitigate my suffering here, not accentuate it. Right, is there a way I can get the numbers on this? The pit has all the workers it needs, large amounts of clay, mine, clay, blah 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 blah. Give me the encyclopedic stuff. Not this kind of encyclopedic stuff. C for clay. Pottery, tend to be red or black. Okay, beautiful. Where's the nice pictures that you got in Caesar 3? Store pottery in a storage yard, yeah, sure.
I have to go clear across the city with these goods. It'll take all day.
You have to go from here to here. I could spit that far. God, I hate Egyptians. Okay, right. I need to set up somewhere for them to put these goods. Storage yard, they said. Probably not a desirable neighbor. Yeah, there we go. It's undesirable. When and where and how can I start building desirability things? Yeah, here's beautification, but I can't do any of them because we're locked out. What a shame.
Even when fires are burning, all I can think about is how hungry I am.
I'm working on that, okay? We're gonna have so many figs, you won't know what hunger is anymore.
All I ever do is work. There's nothing else to do in this city.
Yeah, problem with my jugglers. The city will be blessed with perfect inundation in the coming year. Is there any randomness to that? If you're trying to make a perfect city in this game, do you have to account for inundation not being good for certain times? I don't know how that works. Ooh, the hippos. The biggest, baddest, meanest mammal out there. Meager, shanty, sturdy hut. Why are they on their way down? Lack of food. Okay, so it sounds like you need a whole lot of food. Ah, great. We have access to beautification at long last. In that case, could I just simply make some gardens? There we go. To evolve these people. God, they look awful. And then we can offer up some plaza. Entertainment. Houses get better points depending on general coverage. A booth provides perfect coverage for 600 people, which we're coming towards. Okay, good to know. Ew. It looks really, really grim. Like, that's real clown puke looking color clashing. Kind of unpleasant on the eyes. Jake, which nation's populations do you not hate? Lithuania? Latvia? Riga? Estonians? Finns? I think that's enough. Alright, we still need those 10 modest homesteads. Hey, that looks like a... Oh, it's just an ordinary cottage. How does it become better? Needs better desirability. It does not like its storage yard. Well, maybe it would like having some plaza. Although I don't know why my ability to build plaza just stopped dead here. Why can't I build plaza here? I can build plaza... Oh, I think you can only put plaza when there's actually nice enough desirability already. In that case, maybe I could build a sizable statue here. Maybe an even bigger, nicer statue? Yeah, now we're talking. Now let's get you plazaed up. Those beautiful, modest homesteads.
I do my best to give the people what they want.
Yes, but could you do better? Figs, pottery, clay. You should probably not accept any clay. Nor should you accept figs, right? I've got a granary for figs, which are taking their sweet time to be made. The plazas are ugly. Who thought just randomly putting different patterns there would look good? Yeah, it's really hideous. Well, somebody must have thought it looks good. Unemployment is a staggering 40-something%, although I don't know what jobs I could reasonably give them right now. The job is to get 10 of these modest homesteads, right? So perhaps the correct thing to do is to genocide. Ah, but hang on, if I do that, then there won't be enough. Well, no, if there's 10, it'll be fine. So what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ice some of these. Replace their homes with beautiful statues. Although the problem here is it needs food from a local bazaar, and the problem is I'm just not getting enough food right now. The food production is awfully slow in this game. Oh well, nothing speeding up to... Wait, is that really 5 times speed? I don't feel like 5 times speed. Maybe double speed. There's no way that's 5 times the speed, right? If it was 5 times, it'd be blisteringly fast. Bloody French. Alright, bring in the immigrants. Let's close the book on this horrible affair. Curiously, what do you need to evolve beyond here? You need more entertainment. Well, your one crusty juggler is all you're getting. I simply cannot give you more. In the original, they always changed between 2 colors going along a straight road. Ah, well, clearly more colors are better colors.
Your own citizens are beginning to look to you as their caretaker, and neighboring cities also hail you as a provider in times of need. As the people who live along the Nile still struggle to survive in this harsh environment, a local king named Narmer has risen to power. Though Narmer has dominion over much of this land, full unification of the Twin Kingdoms has yet to be achieved. In commemoration of his accession, Narmer wishes your family to establish and govern a new city at Nekhen. This city will have temples to many of the gods of Egypt and numerous places of entertainment.
If you insist, game. The patron god is Ra. Osiris and Bast are also worshipped. Make sure the city has more temples and shrines dedicated to Ra. Do not neglect them. Okay, so prefer Ra over the others, but also love everybody. Is there gold in these mines? It would appear no. Well then, let's get developing. I see no better place to go than here, where everything is nice and ripe for us. It did tell me I could remove trees, but it also warned me you might not want to remove all of the trees. Well, I will heed the warning to a degree. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. And along. And then cut it off at the end. It's not like roads are expensive. Alpha Gamma, correct me if I'm incorrect in my memory here, but you obsessively went through a very hard campaign of this. Not a new era, of course. The conclusion of which you were insisting upon how a very hard run of Pharaoh is much, much more difficult than a very hard run of Caesar. And I don't doubt that. It certainly seemed harder. Right. Yeah, let's just put down the basics that you need. You need the physician, you need the architect. We need the no burning house. What was the other thing you wanted? Apothecary, since we're near all the watery stuff. I don't think I care. Oh, right, maybe I do want to tax the people to the palace, but the palace is expensive, and I don't know if I can set tax rate. Surely I can. Wait a second. This is where I can get some food. Yeah, maybe I should set up a little closer to this, but I suppose it's no big deal. We can just bring the stuff over here. As long as we... Yeah, that's fine. Why does everything feel so much bigger and chunkier here than in Caesar? Maybe it's because everything's bigger and chunkier here than in Caesar. Or maybe I'm just a moody old fool who can't handle change. There you go. What the hell is this for road drawing? Drag it out and down. If I wanted it in that direction, I would pull it from another direction. Why does it do this? I hate the French and they hate me. There you go. At least I can put my crusty jugglers over there. Alright, bring on the Egyptians. You have not finished that run, says Alpha. So many challenging runs to be done, but I'd hate to insinuate that anything but your 100% Death World run of Space Age should be done.
I heard there is a job here for anyone who wants one.
Well, the jobs I offer may not be the ones you're after. I'm learning that desire for food is very high. Work camp. So you're saying they're camp? I don't trust them not to fall down, so I'm putting down another architect post. Let's keep that water flowing. I will at some point need a granary. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a couple of 1x1s. 10 seems like a magical number early on. Let's get rid of these. And let's actually placate the gods to a degree. A shrine to Bast. A shrine to Osiris. But a proper temple to Ra. God, those temples are big. Sokar Seshnet Ra. God, I love the Prince of Egypt so much. Notably, this game is not the Prince of Egypt, so I don't love it. And this is something I do not like about Pharaoh. Look at how obstructed this is. I can't see what's behind it. I've got to completely delete the thing. It is a bit challenging in fixed perspective to create buildings that look deep but don't actually obscure so much. There were some great writings in the Factorio dev diaries about that, particularly about the beacon and the new design for the mining drill. But it should be done because visual clarity is important. Look at how much you don't see. Yeah, if only I could rotate the camera. Sadly, they didn't have that technology back in 1999. Wait a minute. Goddamn French. Alright, well, while I'm at it, we might as well make some more goodies for my people. A couple of clay pits. And let's actually see if 3 Potter works work then. And they're going to need a place to store that stuff. Get the Yardy boys out here. They did in 1999. Yeah, I'm aware of that. That is the cheeky joke that I am making here. 2023 Frenchmen cannot emulate the Dark Ages technology that we had. Must have been lost in the burning and sacking of the Library of Alexandria.
I have to go clear across the city with these goods. It'll take all day.
Clear across the sick. I hate these people. Right, it's time to distribute this food. Let's get our bazaar on the go. Now the bazaar all the way over here. Because I'll have to go clear across the city for that food. And I'm going to assume that there's not going to be any more farming until we have our inundation. Which is surely on its way. Oh, I wanted to hear the slave children talking. Maybe we can still hear it. Right, they want to listen to music in their spare time, as well as take an occasional juggling performance. Put on a bandstand. And a conservatory to train musicians. I will endeavour to do exactly that. Crusty juggler on the corner. Wait, that's the wrong one. There we go. Crusty juggler on the corner. What's the thing that trains them? Here we go. One booth. No, not the booth. Generates jugglers and musicians. Okay, so this one's also going to make that. But hang on, it can't be built here. Does it also need to be built on an intersection? Must be built at a crossroads. Man, they really like their crossroads. But hang on, this is a crossroads. Why can't I build it here? Because it needs to come out in all the directions, doesn't it? Did they just hate the way that we didn't build crossroads in Caesar 3? Why the limitation? Oh, wait, whoa. It's actually done on a T-junction like that. That is extra weird, sure. But that's to watch the... Sudden pop-up and dismissal. Right, what were they telling me? I don't actually know. Disappeared too fast. Right, so I believe I was meant to build a conservatory for the training of these people. There you go. And now I actually need employees. Shocking developments. That's okay, we'll get the people if they simply evolve these from the desirability I give them with my fancy gardens. The gardens are indeed fancy enough. Taxes in the courthouse, yes. Palace, tax collectors, well, sounds good, but I sincerely doubt I have the free people to do that right now. And they're still waiting on more food coming in, so I guess a few people steal all the food from everybody else. Yeah, so these guys don't get it. My biggest gripe with Pharaoh is they force you to make intersections, yeah, because of these buildings here. It is a bit of a pain. And that means if you build something on an intersection, what are you going to do? Push it back? Who knows? I really dislike the gold mines as Alpha Gamma. And walling off with gardens. Walling off with gardens. I dislike how ugly those gardens look. Like, what a clash of colour and design. I don't have a good eye for art, but I knows what I likes, and I don't likes that. Alright, so those fields once more. I need more food. I feel like the amount of area dedicated to food versus the amount of people you feed is a little off here. And I guess we're not going to be hunting any game around here, as there are none. How does this game compare to the original, minus lack of camera rotation thing? I imagine poorly. But it's been a long time since I played the original, and I didn't play much of it because I didn't like it, so... Oh, I see we've got the same old problem of people just failing at intersections. This guy right here.
I hope I'm credited for the great condition of this city.
He walked here, went there, bumped, came back, and walked back away. So if there was one thing they were going to do with this remake, it would be nice if they actually fixed some of the stuff regarding walkers. Because walkers are chaotic and irritating. But maybe I'm asking for too much. Clearly I'm asking for too much. Now what about the Manola? Oh, would you look at that? This is accepting grain, I think. No, it says accepting none. Then what's all the stuff that it's holding right now? You're carrying straw. Who wants straw? Maybe I can export straw. Sometimes you just want to place a building that you can see on the screen. Instead of going through, you can use Control-Click. Wow. Can I change that to... Nah. Gives me a pop-up, and because I'm in the middle of doing something, I have the audacity to click when it's up, and then it instantly goes away. I don't even know what that message was. Maybe it was this telling me to reach 1,000 population and 10 modest apartments. I'll get to that in a heartbeat. Let's speed up, shall we? Emperor is objectively the pinnacle of old Sierra builders, but people don't play it nearly as much. Yeah, I'm not really interested. I don't like the theme. Alright, bring on that food. Heavens knows we need it to get these people evolved. And then hopefully steady as well. Yeah, so a few buildings eat up all the food. But look at that, spacious homestead. It wants places to be even nicer. Well, can I show even more love for Ra? There you go, have a couple of shrines to him. Well, they really like what that does to the neighborhood. How about that money that I wanted to be taking in? Buildings are just so big and hideous. Oh, that's right. It needs to be a proper intersection, doesn't it? Even though I wasn't planning for an intersection, here's your bloody intersection. And now people are going to walk off and get lost on it.
There is no better place upon this earth.
Alright, good. Actually, I have unemployment. Maybe I can start taxing my people. My own personal mansion. Hey, that sounds like a good step forward. Physician, apothecary. I don't think I ever built another police station because, you know, there's not going to be crime if I make a good city. Even so, I'll put it down. But yeah, so I want a tax office. I first need the palace. I assume that if I build my palace, then that will also put out a tax collector. Well, I assume.
Everybody's friendly here. No one is reporting any crimes.
Maybe I do need a dedicated tax collector. Which is, of course, a service. Okay, wait a second. That's courthouse. Here's the tax collector. Curious to see a tax collector spawn out. I want to hear his lines.
This city could bring in so much more revenue if they'd just hire some more tax collectors.
Sure. Tax rate of 9%. Well, I wonder if it's like Caesar 3 where 14 is a very good tax percent. The game claims that you don't make much money off of taxes with the low quality crappy housing, but I'll see about that. And I'm not sure if it's a distribution issue or a walker issue, but we have food in the granary and these people aren't getting any food, so I think it's every possibility that the bazaar workers are just not walking over here and these poor people are starving. Oh, the slave children.
Maybe I just carry baskets now. But one day I'll run the bazaar. These baskets are too heavy for a little kid like me. That bossy lady makes me carry goods all day. These goods will make welcome additions to the bazaar. This city is tops. These goods will make welcome additions to the bazaar.
Horrifying. There we go. Now the hungry people are significantly less hungry, living in nicer places. Although it still didn't help out these people. And we do get a spacious homestead, but they need beer. Beer? Can I even do beer? Perhaps the barley farm is necessary for that. So, knowing what I know now, perhaps I should always be building my city in a position that has massive access to the floodplains. Yes, yes, yes. Hundreds of people live here, as well they should. Well, it says when built on a meadow. I guess it does need to be built over here. How are we going to do that then? The need for beer is dire. This somehow feels a lot more annoying than building... okay, there we go. Somehow feels a lot more annoying than building these kinds of things in Caesar. Can't put my finger on it. But there, give me the goods. I want the goods. So, is this a punishment because it's not Caesar 3, asks Jetpack. I think a large part of it is due to that. Unemployment's not so bad. Don't know how the work camp really works, though. Or if it needs to be in a certain place, but whatever. Just get out there and get working for me.
My supplies sold like hotcakes. I'm going back to the bazaar for more.
Yes, good for you. The meadows are only on some maps, huh? So I guess we don't get it here. How do you know when it's a meadow? Anyway, another rousing round of making food for my people. My people seem to be running low on food real fast. Oh God, I need tons of food. And this is only for half the population that I need. Alright, speed up, get to work. Everyone seems relatively happy. Perfect inundations. Those animations are so bad. This is just the way they're right on top of these things as well. Good grief. Pray the French don't punish you with absent floods. The French are already getting their punishment in.
I've been kicked out of my home and through no fault of my own.
I should have rationed that food harder. Now, how do I transform that barley into beer? Figs, game meat, storage yard. Storage yard's pretty overflowing with pottery, but not with beer. Maybe just in case, let's make another storage yard so I can suss this out. Beer, beer, beer. A brewery. Now that sounds almost outrageous, but maybe a brewery makes beer. Since you prefer Caesar 3 over this, it's just a hunch. No, a large part of the punishment here comes from my love of Caesar 3. Well, this is almost problematically overflowing. But that's okay, these people get to work making me beer. And all my people can enjoy beer and food and be happy in their ordinary cottage. That's not good enough. Do better than that. I really feel like the buildings here are nowhere near as distinct as in Caesar 3. Now maybe that's due to overwhelming experience in Caesar 3, but the building designs and the colors used felt like every building had its place. How old is this game? This remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it. Maybe just call it re. It's 2 years old, 2.5 really. However, the original game, Pharaoh, I believe is from the year 2000. Can't remember exactly because I didn't play it on release. I played Caesar 3 before release. I played the demo of Caesar 3. Oh, that demo disc. I played it so much. And I enjoyed it ever so much. Let's make more of these hideous plazas. I'm remembering getting Pharaoh in primary school, and I'm a 96 baby. Glorious 90s. Hey, that's a nice thing, though. This building visually upgraded as the desirability improved in the area. That's something I really liked in Caesar. How would you rank the old Sierra city builders? There's Caesar, and I don't want to play any of the other ones, so that's my ranking. I've played... yeah, I played Zeus, played Caesar, played Emperor, played this, and I don't care about any of them but Caesar. Caesar's the only one for me. And that's Caesar 3, not the other Caesars, which I also haven't touched. Can't imagine the quality of life would be very high there.
I'm not taking these supplies any further until someone's available to unload them.
Right, there we go. We actually filled up too much on these. There's your beer.
I have to go clear across the city with these goods.
You do not.
It'll take all day.
Don't know why it's not giving me access to trade. Caesar 3 let you trade in the second tutorial town. Always comparing to Caesar 3. Hopefully Nyx isn't really taking a drink every time I mention Caesar. Water crossings. Ferries can help you run more smoothly. I can't imagine why I'd want to ferry anything around here. What, do we not have bridge technology? I suppose we don't. Hey, that certainly looks like a modest apartment. They've got their beer, they got their pottery, they got oodles of food. All these people are getting those delectable, modest apartments. They've got room for 72 each. So if I have 10 of them, how many do I have? It's hard to count them looking at it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And a couple of wild cards, huh? In that case, if I just need to mash my way up to population, I wonder if I can do the old trick of... Where were the immigrants coming from? The south or the north? This very clearly looks like they're coming from the south. I wonder if I can just rush population again, like I would in Caesar. Let's do the disgusting. And just make sure they don't fall down swiftly. I will give you an architect and an anti-burning building. An anti-burning Okay, so I have it, and then I try to place it down here, and then I lose it. I hate the French. I wonder if that's the case in the original. Lose the cursor, lose the building. Alright, is that even going to work? 700. 713. They'd probably have an easier time coming in if there are no taxes to pay. Let's just see if I can slam my way through this in exploity Caesar 3 ways. Bye, money. But hello, people. Not coming in very quickly. It always brings me joy that both the Caesar 3 fans and the Pharaoh fans got what they deserved with Julius on one hand and Pharaoh and New Era on the other. That is truly amazing, isn't it? Yes, your dedication to Caesar 3 gets rewarded with glorious Julius, and if you're so inclined, Augustus. And as a Pharaoh fan, what do you get? You get two Frenchmen making this.
Well done. Thanks to your capable leadership, Egyptian civilization has advanced considerably and will continue to do so in the coming decades.
Oh, don't threaten me with that game. I've not heard of Julius. Oh, Julius is amazing. It's got to be the single best fan remake. What would you even call it anyway? It's just taking the game and making it playable on modern systems with so much good quality of life without changing anything in the game. Mechanically, all works the same. But yeah, it's just Julius is amazing. There is something like Julius for Pharaoh. It's called Amkahanet or whatever. I've never heard of that. Alright, could we please see something that might not be awful here? How about we see what the combat system is like? Spacious apartment. Oh, no, not monuments. Monuments blow, man. Oh, okay, yeah. OpenTTD is superior. But it also changes the game in quite a lot of ways. Better ways, true.
After a lengthy struggle, King Hor-Aha has managed to unite the twin kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt and proclaimed himself Pharaoh over all Egypt. As a sign of his absolute sovereignty and the establishment of this, the first dynasty of Egypt, Hor-Aha has ordered the founding of an imposing capital at Men-Nefer, from which he may govern this fledgling nation. Because of your family's many generations of faithful service to this land, Pharaoh has chosen you to be the architect of this splendid city. Because the capital is the very symbol of our kingdom, its citizens must enjoy a quality of life heretofore unknown in this land. To this end, you will eventually need to trade with other cities in the realm and to provide a higher standard of education for at least some of your citizens. You must also build a sacred mastaba tomb for the city's nobles.
I'd rather just fling him into a ditch. The banks of the Nile begin by planning areas of housing, industry. From this tutorial and onwards, now you've learned how to play with recruiters, you can switch to global worker pool. I already did that. This allows every building connected to road to have automatic access to workers. It's a big change from the original Pharaoh, giving you... Yeah, of course it wasn't Pharaoh, it was Emperor that introduced global labor pool, wasn't it? A truly disgusting change. But hey, this is a punishment game, so let's embrace the Digostay. I don't actually know what is paused and what is not. Is that paused or is that paused? Heavens knows. Very little access to food, it seems. Ah, no, here's the floodplain. If I recall, this game launched without a mini-map. I wish it launched edge scrolling as well. Horrible, horrible edge scrolling. Now that is a product of the last millennium. It isn't paused. You can see time passing. Ah, so that is paused. Okay. How are we operating this then? I need to have my loads of food. Is this meadows? No. What is it then? I can't even click on it to get information about it. Oh man, what a deeply unpleasant experience this is. Begin the debates in chat about OpenTTD and just how good it is. It is phenomenal, though. Glad I got into that game. I forget what even caused me to start enjoying it. Why did it ever come to the channel in the first place? Funny, I'm so confident in how I plan a city in Caesar 3, but in here, well, I guess it's all new, so I don't really know what I'm playing around with. In any case, I guess we could just start by having this coming on in. And then, one way or another, we're going to have our livelihood maybe just come out and down like this. Yeah, I feel like overbuilding places for people to live is a mistake because they need such an enormous amount of food. But when I think things like that, then I think surely the solution there is to build an enormous amount of food so that it's not a problem. At some point this will be my little cornery affair thing. So does that mean that I can start... Ooh, they're going to eat chickpeas. I like chickpeas. So yeah, clearly we need oodles of food. I'll leave a little space here so we can have even more of it done. And maybe you can come on down here. Maybe you cannot. I don't know, just join back in like so. Then I can have even more intersections, because the game loves its intersections. Consider the services needed here. I'm going to want to architect around here. I'm going to want a firehouse. I don't trust fires, so I'm going to put another firehouse over there. Maybe even another architect over here. Trust nobody. And apothecary and... what was the other one? Well, sure, they need water. Oh, that's right, water needs to be put somewhere that has at least a patch of green grass. There we go, grab all your water from that one patch of green grass. And there was another one, not apothecary, that's the one, physician. There we go, that'll keep everybody good. There needs to be a worker camp for these people. Yeah, no, don't say worker camp, say happy camp. That's probably sufficient for now, but let's throw down a shrine or two. One shrine needs to be within 2 tiles of a road, doesn't it? Alright, in that case, shrine and shrine. Hopefully I'll keep them placated for a wee while. Ugh, not looking forward to doing monument stuff. Nay, a fan. Soybeans, mung beans, broad beans, chickpeas, lentils, old world crops. Lentils probably being my favorite there. Oh, I could eat lentils all day, every day. I'm not sure I'd ever get tired of them. Merge properly. Good, perfect mergers so far. Don't screw with me. Nothing but perfect mergers. Love to see it. What do you mean unemployment? How can I have unemployment with all this farming work needing to be done? Now I'm going to need some storage going on, that much is for sure. And I may as well add in a couple of granaries. If nothing else, deal with that unemployment. Gosh, people come in fast. I feel like in this game you can pick up a lot faster than in Caesar 3. Let's have some entertainers coming down. There we go. Wait, does this generate them? No, that's where they're watched. Juggling tricks, listening to music, and you will generate 4 new musicians. But is that also how we get jugglers? Or do you need specifically the juggler's school to make the jugglers? I don't actually know if the little corner booths are needed in addition to this, like having theaters and amphitheaters, maybe? Who's to say? So I believe we... Wait, who is the top dog of the gods around here? Overseers on religion, please talk to me. Overseer of diversions, that's a fun way to call entertainment. Alright, maybe that little eye there. There we go, the patron god is Ptah, and he's currently pathetic. So Ptah gets a glorious temple. There's your glorious temple. Hey, they do get juggling over here. Nice. So everybody will be nice and happy seeing all that, I'm sure. My own personal mansion, how tempting. We're going to need a palace in the city. Because I'm afraid to say you all need to pay me taxes.
I'm new here. I wonder what the city will offer to a person like me.
Get in the work camp. Right, while we're at it, we need to be getting some barley, although sometimes I wonder if this is going to be enough food already. I can really extend this and push it quite far into the waters. Interesting. Yeah, the ratios I certainly do not know here. There we go. Get that going, get that somewhere, and then let's turn it into beer. And then I need to consider how we get pottery. What's considered close to water? Apparently this is close enough. But maybe I could consider some... perhaps it's specifically close to floodplain. There we go. We'll have these people come up and around here for the lark. And give them access to Policia. Don't know if I'm going to need that. Perhaps I will need that when I set my my lovely tax rate up to 14%. Right, unemployment at 5. Yeah, low unemployment people should be very happy, right? And look at all this food. That means I'm happy enough to set up a bazaar and distribute it. Well, maybe I'm happy enough doing that. I have a feeling that these greedy guts are going to take up most of the food immediately. Yeah, look at that. I've only got about 900 food. And if these guys gobble up like 200 each, that's really not a lot of food. Yeah, goodness, you really gotta go mad with the farming. City sentiment. City sentiment can be checked with your chief overseer. It's updated every month. I'm sure they're fine. Have a bit of confidence in my ability to rule a city, will you? Don't know how much confidence we should have in my ability to feed all these people, though. Can we listen to the voice lines?
Firefighting is hard work, and I'd love to cool off with a good show. There's not enough of that here.
Malaria doesn't seem to be a problem here.
I can only juggle so much. I wish there were other entertainers in the city.
Why are you having a problem with entertainment? We've got juggling and we've got singing. What more could they want? Can you click and drag statues? No, but you can click and drag gardens, so... Let's have desirability up the middle here. Yeah, the voice lines are not quite as enjoyable as they were in Caesar 3, of course. Inundation coming, so hopefully we get loads of food coming in and we could stop having wealth equality in our home. The breweries are here. Wait, did I ever build potteries? Probably not, given that you're grabbing clay over there. Where's my pottery barn? Production. Potter. Somebody mentioned that it was 2 to 3 as the ratio in this game, so let's try that. Also hope that you bring them over to the pottery barns rather than to the warehouse. Good.
I have to go clear across the city with these goods.
You need to cross
It'll
the
take all day.
street. Why are they giving me that voice line? Clear across the city.
Malaria doesn't seem to be a problem here.
Are these the original voice lines, by the way?
I heard there is a job here for anyone who wants one.
I can't hear any of the white noise in the background, so I would assume not. I'm curious why people are unsatisfied with the amount of entertainment here. Look at that. Perfect musician coverage. Perfect crusty juggler coverage. There is enough diversion, but everybody's complaining about it. Gotta hate these people.
For the last time, I am not hiring any more roadies.
Roadies.
There's so many people looking for work.
So many people. Unemployment's at 13%. You people need to work the fields a bit harder. Barley, chickpea, and work camp. I wonder if you need a certain number of work camps. Houses laborers who can work in the floodplains or the monuments. Da 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 da. No monument, peasants will have nothing to do. If your city has few work camps relative to the number of floodplain farms, you'll notice a distinct rhythm set by inundation. Just in case, then, I'm going to set up another work camp. Again, I don't know the numbers here. And if I were invested in this game, I would probably look into the numbers here. I am not. Yeah, but I'm noticing that these aren't getting all their people fast enough. To be fair, the street is basically the whole city.
I've had people come in for checkups just because they've nothing better to do.
Oh, I know the feeling. Well, unemployment may be high, but what else can I do for them? There don't appear to be gold. No gold to be mined. And for some reason, the game doesn't let you trade. The game does have trade, right? Pottery, brewery, clay pit. Bazaar, storage yard, granary. Trying to think if there's anything else for these people to do. Courthouse. My own personal mansion. How about that? There we go. Your own home. I could draw a salary. Yeah, sure. My own little modest salary. City sentiment is falling. Yeah, I'd like to see that. You said my chief overseer would talk about that. People are annoyed with you because of high taxes. Lack of food. Yeah, there's actually the immigration and the unemployment that I'm sure they're unhappy about. But I will deign to drop taxes to 9%. Such slow tooltips. In tutorial 10. At this rate, we're not getting to tutorial 10. We've already been at this for an hour and 40. And I do want to see the game's trade and military, especially the military.
Carrying water is not entertainment. I wish we had some real diversions here.
And I don't think I'd be going particularly slowly. Holy smokes, now how's that for an inundation? Get those chickpeas flowing. Let my people eat. I think I need a second bazaar at this rate because it's not quite able to get around there.
I do my best to give the people what they want.
Yes, but could you consider doing better? My people want a pint of better. Here, have an obnoxiously large statue. It's huge. Oh boy, if you built a bunch of those in the front here, you'd be obscuring so much. There is no military, Jake. Nonsense, I don't believe you. An impressions game without military? What would even be the point? The breweries didn't get anything, did they? You cannot need... Okay, so I reckon my work camps are too slow because we didn't get the beer in fast enough. Is my best understanding of the situation. Come on, the people hunger for beer. And more literally, they hunger for the chickpeas. But hopefully having the extra work camp means that these people get distributed faster. Just in case. How about we have even more happy camps? Chickpea beer. No, chickpeas and beer. We're not making beer out of the chickpeas. We're making beer out of barley. Although I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you can make beer out of chickpeas. Desperation will cause all sorts of things. The clay to pottery ratio seems fine at 2 to 3. Unemployment's getting out of hand, though. God, that is slow. Very unsatisfying compared to the Caesar 3 farms. Maybe I should also check what is needed for my spacious apartments here. Desirability needs to improve. Well, I can do that. I have the power. With my fat stacks of not much cash, I can plaza you up. And then beyond the plaza, maybe we can have a nice big statue. But that wasn't the real problem. The real problem is we need beer. Look, I'm working on the beer, okay? God, these people work so slowly. There we go, in it comes. Not a lot of barley made it. Oh yeah, some of that's getting washed away before it even gets made into anything for us. That's a shame. Yeah, I do think I need more in the way of work camps. I just built an extra one. Maybe there's a ratio at work here. Ah, there we go. The fertility. Ah, it needs to actually wash into the certain places to make them fertile. That is interesting. But hey, we have beer now. Or at least we're about to have beer now. Man, that is really annoying. Get that out of my face. Farmers are overjoyed. Excellent inundation. Well, excellent doesn't sound perfect. Give me food, give me beer. Hey! Nice looking homes now. This house cannot evolve. It needs a local magistrate. Really? I've never thought, nice home, but I don't want to live here because there's not a court nearby. Doesn't tend to be a problem. I've been in court once before. I served as a jury member in an attempted murder case. Now that sounds cool, but I assure you it was incredibly boring. Now that you've built up this city somewhat, why'd you have to put somewhat there? It's time to provide education. Scribal schools need papyrus, reed gatherings, papyrus. Papyrus distributed from the educational facilities. Okay, is this where we get the stuff? Production, potter, papyrus maker. But you said I need to gather the reeds. Alright, here we go. Reeds. At least this makes jobs for people. Papyrus making, 1, 2, 3. It's just like Undertale. Attempted should get double the sentence for incompetent. The whole case got thrown out. It was absolutely a waste of time. I would have rather been working. Court is generally very boring, says Worm, but sometimes you have funny little story. Yeah, there wasn't really any fun or funniness to be had there. And to make things even worse, the food wasn't very good. Also exposed me to just how bad an idea it is to have common people make these kinds of decisions. We're out there in the little jury house. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to talk to this stuff, but let's just say in broad contexts. And we have this guy say, aye, it was him. Aye, he looks guilty, doesn't he? Aye, he did it, like. So, maybe fortunate that the judge threw it out. He's got that look about him. Aye, he did it. He's got that look about him. That's what he said. And if I ever have to go to court, I am asking for no jury. Just have one judge decide my fate. I do not want my common man to decide my fate for me. I'd take one look at me and think, oh, he's got that look about him. I wonder if you get that choice in the UK, or Sweden, or Hungary. God, I don't even know what country would have me now. Just always vote guilty. It's not like you're the accused. Oh, that's nice. Jake had jury duty with Young. Oh, dearie me. Right. Lots of excess papyrus coming down to the warehouse. Should I be concerned about that? Nah, concern is for other people. And it'll be a while before we get some perfect inundation, so I wonder if my people are going to starve. What's quite nice is this. This is a nice improvement from Caesar 3. People bank more goods and there's better visualization of what they have. Also, they're actually generating tax money for me. Good. Oh, that's right. I'm actually meant to make a school for these plebeians. Entertainment, beautification, religion, production, stock. Surely it's a service, right? Yes! Scribal school. Sounds a lot like tribal school, but we're not playing tribal wars here. Thank God. Alright, school can go at the end here. Next to the jugglers, so kids can bunk off school and just go juggling instead. Tried my hand at juggling, but I'm rubbish at it. You'd think doing things with my hands all day, every day would be good for that, but I think it's the hand and eye coordination that lets me down there. The eyes being the heavy lifting part. Now you managed to educate some of your people. That was fast. You might want to generate additional revenue by selling. Great, I do. Click on the world map icon on the left panel to see what other cities are in the known world and set up trade. Why is there a globe picture for that? Right, not only that, but a globe that seems kind of American-centric. The world map shows the location of your own city as well as other cities in the world. Here you can pay to open up trade routes with others willing to trade. Once you set up a trade route, set up the overseer of commerce. Import bricks. I don't want to import bricks. Maybe I have to. Sell excess papyrus. So I'm in Mennefer, so perhaps in that previously made Polish city, who sell bricks but buy nothing? What? Oh, come on, someone's going to buy my goods. Ken, you buy my bombs. Alright, let's open up that trade route and start selling goodies. I thought I set up something for export there. Import bricks. I don't have the money to import bricks. You buy papyrus. Open trade route to export. Didn't I just open this trade route? Or did I click cancel instead of confirm? Oh, okay. It was the brighter button, so I went for it. Alright, very good. Available to export. Good. Export when over... I don't know. 200 papyrus. Just guessing here. I think I'll have one of you set up to only... throw away? No, don't throw away. Accept none. Accept none. I really just want this to be a pottery and papyrus place. Sounds like much like in Caesar 3, you want these to be dedicated, but there's no quick don't accept anything button. Oh well. See how that works out for us. Are these things devolving? I actually can't tell if common residence is better or worse than spacious apartment. It's probably better. Can always tell by the capacity, right? So there's room for 80 people here. There's room for 76 here. So it is an upgrade. Jeez, they really don't look distinct. And it looks like there's one design fits all for these, which is extra hideous. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible. I've been wrong before. Can't remember it, but I'm sure it happened. Overflowing with goods. What a wonderful time. How punishing is it, Jake? It's not going to get a very high rating on the punishment meter. Because largely I knew that this was going to be kind of crappy. But, you know, it doesn't sound too bad. Apart from its kind of mobile art style, it's not an assault on the eyes like Cruelty Squad was. It was Cruelty Squad, right? That horrible Finnish fever dream. It's just sad, right? You look at this, you're kind of sad. But we are in the era of rehashing right now. There is no IP that will not be dug up and flogged for a new generation that will accept any kind of slop poured down their gullet. So here we are, seeing one of the impression games. Just brought out and prostituted like this, it's just... ugh, Christ. Hopefully we don't get similar treatment for Caesar. I think it would be harder to do, right? They would have to measure up against Augustus and Julius. Although I suppose normies wouldn't know or care about those. I meant to import bricks so that I can start working on the sacred tomb. Alright, I guess I'll get to work on that. Nachten, give me... Oh, you don't give it to me. Strange place over here. I will pay to open, and I will import some bricks. Bricks, bricks, bricks. Please import... And I want to have 800 bricks. That's probably very, very expensive, and I doubt I have the money. But let's see how it works. And I suppose I should make a dedicated brick holder for that. You there, I want you to accept nothing but bricks. Well, of course, the one thing I think was... the one thing I clicked was what I wanted to have accepting. Is there a quicker way to click this? I don't like clicking on these drop-down menus. This is even worse than in Caesar 3 Vanilla, where normally everything is accepted, and you just click twice on everything to say not accepting. Was it click twice or once? Maybe it's just once. Alright, give me those bricks. Hopefully I don't get too bankrupt, although maybe we could just, you know, tap up that tax rate. Unemployment at 13% is surely not going to be too unpleasant for my people. Although I suppose if I wanted to offset that, which I do, we should have more industry. You see, if more people work, they won't have the spare time to complain about my taxation policies. I think I made one too many of that. The ratio's a bit off. There you go. Alright, bring on the bricks. This game runs very slow on highest speed compared to Caesar. You know, as I continue the comparisons.
You talk a fine bargain, my friend. I'll barely make back my costs. You talk a fine bargain, my friend. I'll barely make back my costs.
I would love to know if these are vanilla voices or not. Come on, Jake, you're the only one doing the complaining around here. Now, that is absolutely not true, given what we've been reading in chat so far. And even if it were true, who cares? This is my show. I'm the most important person here today. You're nothing. But tomorrow and another day, I will be nothing. And maybe you'll be everything. But that might be even more of a stretch of the imagination.
Carrying water is not entertainment. I wish we had some real diversions here.
Ninjin's quite keen to stick the knife in my back and remind me about the horrendous time doing WarioWare. I was so close. That's the second closest challenge run I think we've ever had. Nothing's ever going to top Ao Oni, though. I had a fraction of a second left and eked out the finale on that one. Construction guilds, bricklayers. Alright, I think I can understand how this is going to work. You want me to build the small whatsits. I don't know if this thing needs road access. Guess we're about to find out. The bricks are nearby, so let's just shove it over here and see what happens. Oh, crumbs, it's got... well, whatever. Whatever. Get over there and get yourself your bricklayer gilding. How many of these am I going to need? I don't care. Shove loads of them down. We have the unemployment. And I have the... wait, maybe I don't. 40 required. 9 out of 10 workers. I don't have the bravery to bring back slavery. They need dental access to evolve further now, do they? Alright, well, in that case I need to free up about 40 workers. Can't have these places working under par. What do you need? 8 workers. 8 and 12 and 8 and 12 and done.
With the fields underwater, I work now for glory everlasting.
I'm not taking these supplies any further until someone's available to unload them.
So the city sentiment's going up. That sounds like higher tax time to me. Whoever thought that monuments are fun? Look at this.
It's bricklaying time at the monument.
Is this what people do to lay bricks? We expect the next inundation to be mediocre. Perhaps the site. Well, that's okay. We've got people wandering around, hoping to find a moment to deliver unto me my chickpeas.
I have to go clear across the city with these goods. It'll take all day.
And then you wait. And then I don't think they do anything more because the bricks of... Well, we're waiting on the bricks. Why is finding a Goran voice line video of the old game impossible? Everyone just seems... What, with this? Everyone's playing this instead of the original? A horrifying time we live in.
I like to have a good time, just like anyone else. I wish there were more entertainers in this city.
There is perfect entertainment in this city. I don't know what you're on about. They're just trying to cheese me off. Well, the money situation is fine. The monument's coming along, but this is part why I don't like monuments. Just, okay, you've built it, now wait. And wait. And wait. And keep on waiting. So there's one guy in the YouTube comments who just keeps trying to goat me into playing Caesar 3 Augustus. At this point, I've very sternly told him to stop doing that. These Hebrew tricks will not work on me. So hopefully he does stop, or else it's the last time he'll ever be commenting. The only thing separating this game from a mobile or web game is that you're not given the option to pay cash to speed up construction. Well, let's not give ideas, shall we? Nobody needs to be thinking about that. Most recent mobile game I was playing was Roller Coaster Tycoon. Roller Coaster Tycoon? Is that the one? That was a Chris Sawyer one. Yeah, I think so. Miserable, and it was more miserable because there was actually a good game hidden in there. But they just couldn't help themselves with microtransactions, so the good game mechanics were washed away by their desire to extort the manola out of you. Well, it's half made. Our bricklayers need a lot more bricks than they're getting. If we can't make them, maybe you can import some. Well, I'm trying to. Maybe I can import more. You there, trade man. Where's that brick situation? Try and bring me double what you're doing right now. I mean, Jings, it's just bricks.
Taxes are too high here. I'm surprised I wasn't taxed for leaving.
Oh, the game finally has a good line. Alright, there you go. That's not a problem. I had unemployment anyway. Surprised I wasn't taxed for leaving. I don't know the ratios for tax, which is why I can't do my usual Caesar 3 thing of taxing people until they cry and then taxing their tears. Which is normally what I'd like to be doing. I wonder how many of the ratios I've forgotten in Caesar 3 by now. It's been, what, over a year since we've played a proper Caesar 3 map? I haven't had any... haven't found any good Caesar 3 maps that perk my interest lately. A good idea, you should tax them for leaving. There are some countries that do that. Immigrant tax is quite rare, but as with most taxes, the US does it. The US is happy to tax their citizens wherever they are in the world. Hungary does as well, which is why I'm keen to not become a Hungarian citizen. They'll tax you for leaving as well. Okay, what the hell is this meant to be? What are they doing? Did they mistake my order to lay the bricks? What are they up to? Yeah, Baron in with his Russophile comment here. The Soviet Union had an emigration tax. If you're going to leave, you're going to pay the privilege. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You don't tend to want to lose your labor forces. And if you're going to, you might as well get paid for the privilege. In Denmark, they tax your crypto assets when you leave. Can't recommend. Yeah, sometimes I regret selling my crypto when I did, because obviously everything just keeps going up in that world. But at the same time, I sold it before things got quite stringent about it, so hopefully nobody looks too deeply into that. They also encourage certain social and religious groups to emigrate. There you go. Gentle encouragement. Who the hell enjoys monuments? I don't understand it. Where's the fun here? Where's the fun of build and wait? At least with all building and waiting that you had in, say, Tropico, if you had better infrastructure, everything gets built considerably faster. And in something like workers and resources, that's half of what you're doing. But in this, it's just, okay, I guess I'll wait for the next import, and then we'll lay the bricks, and then we'll get this thing built. And we'll very slowly watch this thing tick up, because the city is making me hand over fist amounts of money, and the people are relatively happy. No, I'm not vastly wealthy, Jetpack. I made some modest crypto earnings. And that was actually quite some time ago now. So I try not to look at prices right now, lest I cringe. Yeah, extra cruel taxes. Certainly feels good in Stronghold. Okay, huzzah, we finished the damn thing. Now what do you want, game? Actually, what does the game want? What's my actual... what am I actually meant to be doing here? You've reached the end of the tutorial! It's now up to you to finish the thing. Make sure you balance your imports and exports. Your citizens have access to everything they need, and subsequent missions, blah, 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 blah. What is this? Well, village noble whatever? Oh, noble Caesar was better. There seems to be no end to this. Request that you send stuff. May bring us benefits later. Alright, sure, I don't care. How do I end this mission? Actually, we've been at this for over 2 hours, so I've got a very easy way to end it. Goodbye. Are you sure? The game will be lost. Great, I hope it doesn't get found again. Ugh. The only sad thing was that we didn't actually get to see any military. Are there any missions that immediately give you military access? Perhaps some Cleopatra capital? Actually, I think what we're looking at are sandboxy maps. If you're colorblind, the information is not clear enough. No, I'm not colorblind. Sometimes I'm a bit word blind.
At the points of assassins' daggers,
what is this
text?
text?
The Roman world into turmoil, and has driven you, our Pharaoh, Cleopatra VII, into grief and mourning.
Okay, but maybe take it back. Maybe I'm a bit blind because I need to get a telescope to read any of that. Let's get out of this nonsense. What a horrible experience this has been. Alright, well, thank you, Urkran and Herr Kommissar, for adding to my lengthy list of horrible games played. Yeah, let's just delete any knowledge of this ever existing. Goodbye. Although we will acknowledge that Caesar was better. Pharaoh, A New Era. Can't recommend. Never liked the original, but this is hardly a delicate treating of the matter. Just play Caesar. Grab Julius, or if you really want to play some Augustus. If you want to play the Impression City Builder games. I have had my eye on some Impression likes of the modern age, but I've never actually gotten around to playing them, because even if they do end up in my library, I look at them and I think, yeah, they're not that fun to play, are they? So it hasn't happened. Stuff like Lathis Path of Progress and some kind of Oriental-looking one that came out not too long ago. Not really what I'm looking for. Jeez, that left a really, really bad taste in my mouth. What should I do about that? Hasn't exactly been a long time of streaming today. It's just been a couple of hours. Let me quickly consult my schedule.